Hello there, David Landry with the Gervais Group, Keller Williams, Cape Cod, and Colonial Partners. Once again, out on location. I'm at 24 Atkinson Drive in Bridgewater. I separately have filmed the outside of the house to give everybody a picture about what needs to happen on the outside to get this house ready for market. The outside of the house has already been pressure washed, big improvement. There are a lot of items on the outside that need to be discarded. A wheelchair ramp that needs to come out. We're finally able to see the front door, so the outside is coming along. The tenant has moved out officially, and there are some things left behind that I'll show you as I walk through the property, because we'll need to determine if, who owns what and who wants to keep what, or do we just discard everything while the dumpster is here. So this property, according to public record, the field card, it's a 6-room ranch with 3 bedrooms and 1 full bath. By my calculations, there's about 1,450 square feet of heated square footage inside on the main level. There are a couple of rooms in the basement that have heat to them, but there's no flooring in there. So it's probably just a footnote on the listing that those rooms downstairs are heated and have some potential. Anyway, let me flip the camera. This is the outside of 24 Atkinson Drive. So let me take you on a tour of what the property looks like after the tenants have moved out. So there is a dumpster here. Nothing is in it. So the tenant didn't put anything in it on their way out. But this is the side door that goes into a heated room off of the main floor of the property going into the kitchen area. So I think we need to figure a way to replace that overall knob on the outside. And it doesn't, looks like it's shutting properly now. But let's walk inside. This is the additional room off of the kitchen. So it is heated. So there's some good use could happen out of this property. This room is about 14 by 12, so a good size room. And then you enter into a hallway with a set of stairs that goes down to the basement, which I'll walk through and inventory. But this goes into the kitchen. So the kitchen is in need of significant cleaning. Not sure what the status is of the stove. So I haven't turned it on. I can see the lights on it, so at least there's power to it. The tenant seems to have, vacated everything has been in the cabinets anyway. There is a range hood above the stove. Kitchen sink, looks like if there was a spray nozzle, that's missing, but there's still water that's on. And then we have a refrigerator, which doesn't appear to be plugged in. And, there's some serious cleaning that has to go on inside both the freezer and the refrigerator before it's showable. So this is the kitchen. Let's walk into the main dining room, living room area. So this room appears to be empty. There are some fire extinguishers here, not sure what is going on with them, but we probably should do some work to put the covers back on the forced hot water heater regulators. But the fireplace, the fireplace insert. So this room for the most part is empty. I'm sure the hardwood floors will be a feature of the house when it goes to market. And then we're going into a series of bedrooms. So let's start with the primary down here. So still some stuff left in here. Looks like an end table. Yeah. And just a couple of boxes, but otherwise empty. There's a vacuum cleaner. And you'll also know throughout the house that from a safety perspective, we've got some missing switch plate covers, and this one appears to the outlet itself is in need of being replaced. So that's the primary. Then we walk into the bathroom. Again, it's in need of some serious cleaning. This one does have switch plate covers. But yeah, this needs to be cleaned. We do have a situation in the bathroom with what appears to be mold. So we got black on the ceiling. That light doesn't appear to be working. I don't know if it's just a bulb situation, but you can see we're going to need to have mold cleaned up. The fan appears to be working. Not sure if it's venting to the outside or not, which might be causing the mold problem, but so that's the bathroom. And then we have what appears to be, I think that must be going to a doorbell, which is not here. Not sure what the status is with the smoke detectors, but that's part of what we'll figure out. We'll have to do as part of the sale process. In here, which is one of the additional bedrooms, we still have a dresser, which appears to be empty, but we have a dresser, and as you can see, not a lot was done to clean up back here. And from the air conditioner, window air conditioner, there must have been some sweating going on. So we got some paint peeling. And we got a hanging shoe rack or clothes rack in here. And then the final of the three bedrooms. This one's empty. But again, we should do some cleaning and get these forced hot water baseboard panels back on. So at least it makes it presentable. Especially if we're going to try to market the property to first-time home buyers or somebody who's planning to live in it while they're fixing it or renovating it. So that's predominantly the first floor, which again is about 1,450 square feet. Then I'll take you downstairs. So needed to replace several light bulbs down here just to get some light. But here we'll probably want to pay special attention to stuff that's left behind. So I'm assuming this is probably the tenant's stuff, but you get some chairs, some storage things, junk bags. There's a weight bell, a TV. Looks like a mirror up here. Shelving. And then over here, in the furnace area, we'll have to have a discussion about what's going on here. So there's an additional pony box, but the primary fuse panel is the old 60 amp glass fuse with the cover open. So minimally, we probably should get this cover back on for safety reasons. And then there was some discussion about the oil tank where the fuel gauge is not working. Apparently it's on empty. If there's fuel in it, it's not registering. And I think that I remember a discussion about wanting to put like 50 gallons in it. I'm not sure if that's happened, just to keep the furnace operating. But we've also got some boxes here, a couple of jerry cans. And here's like the door to the fuse panel. And that's just the internal bezel. And then we've got the furnace here. I've taken copies of the serial numbers so that we can record that. Not sure when the last time any of this was serviced or maintained, but I'm sure that'll be a question that comes up once we list it. Then we have lots of tools. It looks like a workbench, some lights, a shop vac, and then out here in the shed that goes to the outside, just stuff that looks like it's probably throwable. But we do have a workbench, weed whacker, level, power tools, and then finishing up, we've got stuff here, some painting tools, looks like another washer hose set, got a table over here, some sort of a Pelican products, not sure what, it looks like a box for some tools as well. And then the washer dryer, got some weights, additional weights hanging around. I'm not sure what the status is on the washer dryer, but we'll need to figure that out as well. And then in these additional rooms, which we will note in the listing are heated, so the tenant left what appears to be some kind of a drum kit, keyboard. When I spoke to him, he indicated that he didn't want anything. So, and then of course we have a filing cabinet. Nothing in it, but there's a file cabinet. And then we have this additional room over here, which is also heated. No flooring. If it had flooring, we might be able to market it as heated square feet, but right now it's considered unfinished. And then we've got like a suitcase, some containers, because this has access to the water service coming in. And I think that wraps it up. So let me head back upstairs and finish up the video tour where we started off. Again, finishing up outside. 24 Atkinson Drive. That's the inside. So I'll reach out to see if there's any questions. I'll make this available. But in the meantime, this is David Landry with the Gervais Group, Keller Williams, Cape Cod and Colonial Partners, signing off.